This patient was referred to me a couple of weeks ago regarding tooth number 14, 11/16/2021. The root canal originally was done in Azerbaijan by a dentist. She had some problems with the tooth, and last year an endodontist in San Francisco redid the root canal for her. And this is the endodontist work from San Francisco. As you can see, 2 root canal systems in the mesial root, palatal, distal buccal, and the gutta percha is overextended here, but it doesn't matter. Patients had symptoms and she came and see me because she had gone to that endodontist in San Francisco, and that endodontist had recommended an apicoectomy, and she came to see me for a second opinion. Patient told me also the endodontist in San Francisco, before he redid the root canal for her, took a CBCT of the tooth and also another CBCT after. He redid the root canal for her and told her that everything was perfect. Patient even had the CBCT on a flash drive with her, but I just felt that I didn't need to see it because we take our own radiographs, and I'm pretty good at analyzing radiographs. So I went over the options with her, and patient wanted to know whether or not she should get an apico, and I advised against that. We don't go straight to surgery unless we have exhausted the non-surgical approach. So patient chose to go ahead with the endodontic retreatment of this tooth. It would be the 3rd time. Once the root canal was done in Azerbaijan a few years ago, the root canal was redone by an endodontist in San Francisco, and now we were going to redo that root canal for her. It would be the 3rd time. So today went through the previous endo access, removed all the gutta percha from the mesial root, and take a look here. The endodontist, after taking 2 sets of CBCTs, still had missed an MB2. So he had found MB1 and MB3, thinking that MB3 was actually MB2, but in reality, he had actually missed the MB2 canal. And you can see 3 canals, 3 separate exits. So anyways, 2 sets of CBCTs. So that goes to show you, you could have the most expensive equipment and instruments and still drop the ball here. Anyway, and here's the post-op. So you can see 3 mesial canals. Each one has a different portal of exit. They're pretty much separate canals. So the apical diameter of the MB1 and the MB3 that he had found, he had just way over instrumented. So I placed white MTA. MB2, I placed gutta percha through and through, but MB1 and MB3, I used white MTA, placed apical plugs followed by gutta percha and sealer. Everything went really well, so I'm optimistic about this tooth. Have the patient come back in 6 months, but as I said, I'm very optimistic. Excellent. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you remember, guys, this wonderful patient of ours that we're gonna cover, of course, her face. Her face is not going to be showing on the video. Came to me. An endodontist had done this root canal for her, and I think I discussed that at an endodontist in the Bay Area, a lady endodontist. And today we opened the tooth up. She has some symptoms, and we opened the tooth up, and lo and behold, there was a missed MB2. Well, she had found the MB3, MB1 and MB3, thinking that that's it, but she thought MB3 was actually MB2. But she missed the actual MB2, and I'm sure, I don't know if you can see it, but now you can see the MB2 right there. My Explorer is in it. So MB1, MB2, and MB3 now. So
she had missed the MB2 and found the MB3, thinking that the MB3 was MB2, but of course it wasn't. So we located the missed canal right there, and I'm optimistic now about this tooth. But goes to show you guys that even an endodontist can miss canals, but not this endodontist. Not the Sacramento endodontist. The Bay Area, San Francisco endodontist may, but the Sacramento endodontist will not.
Okay, so, and here is the 6 months post-op. So you remember this case, and patient came to see me. It's been 6 months. She has 0 symptoms. All her symptoms gone away after we redid the root canal. So you remember, was done in Azerbaijan originally, then an endodontist in the San Francisco Bay Area redid it. After taking multiple CBCTs, told the patient there was a missed MB2, located it, and patient still had symptoms. Went back to the endodontist multiple times. The endodontist took more CBCTs and again told the patient everything was fine. And patient kept going back because she had symptoms, she had pain. And so patient went back and forth to the endodontist. Finally, the endodontist told the patient, you need an apical. And patient wasn't comfortable going under surgery for this tooth. So she had looked me up and came to see me for a second opinion. And I recommended against the apical at that point, and recommended that we go ahead and redo the root canal. So redo the endodontist's root canal, the endodontist that had redone the root canal, and patient had symptoms still. So we went ahead and redid the root canal, and I went over all of that with you guys. The endodontist had missed an MB2, so the endodontist had found MB3, thinking they had found MB2, but in reality found MB3, thinking it was MB2, so missed the actual MB2. So this is immediately after we redid the root canal, and you can see the missed MB2 there. 3 separate canals, completely separate canals. So the MB1 and the MB3 that the endodontist had found, the apical diameters were large, so I placed MTA plugs. So that's MTA plug here and there. The MB2 that I found, it was fine, so I obturated completely with gutta percha and sealer. So MTA plug here and here, gutta percha, and MB2 in its entirety filled, obturated with gutta percha. And you can see here is the date. So this was this is immediately after we redid the root canal and located the missed canal there. So as you can see, the endodontist, even after taking multiple CBCTs, had still missed a canal and was going to do an apical. The apical, of course, would not have been successful because there was a completely missed MB2 system. So the apical would not have worked. And here it is, 6 months post-op. Patient has 0 symptoms. She's so happy. I saw her and she was extremely happy. She said all her pain, all her symptoms had gone away. She had no issues with the tooth and she was extremely happy. So this is the 6 months post-op of the tooth. You can see the tooth is disease-free, as I said, symptoms-free. And here is the date. Moral of the story: you can do excellent endodontics with just a few necessary items. You don't need fancy, expensive equipment and instruments. And misdiagnosing can lead to disaster. If this patient had agreed to go ahead with the apical, it would have been disastrous.